Welcome back to LiveLeanTV. I'm Jessica Guthrow and I'm going to show you all my favorite inner thigh exercises. Hold up, before we get started, I need to be really clear, this is not a fat loss video. These exercises are for you to tone and strengthen your inner thighs, not to lose fat in that area. So I don't want anyone getting confused that this video is about spot reduction, because it's not. If you do want to lose fat, you got to lose fat from your entire body, not just from one area only. But you can tone up and strengthen your inner thighs using the exercises I'm about to show you. All of these exercises can be done at home in your living room. All you're going to need is a sturdy chair, a resistance band, a Swiss ball, one dumbbell, and a pair of paper plates. That's it. So let's get started. We're going to start with the sliding front splits with a chair. So putting the paper plates on the ground and putting your toes on them. Keep your legs nice and straight and flexed. Slide out to do the front splits and then slide together and contract all the muscles of your inner thighs. You want to make sure to feel some stretch at the bottom and a flex at the top. Exhale each time you bring your legs all the way together. Next, take those two paper plates, set them down on the ground and put your dumbbell on top of them. You're gonna stand over the weight with a wide stance, squat down and then drag to slide the weight across to the other side. Continue alternating sides, stepping out and down and then dragging as you straighten your legs. Flex your inner thighs with each slide. Using just one paper plate now, we're going to do the heel slide outside lunges. So putting your heel on that plate, make sure that your foot is flexed. You're going to slide that heel out, keeping that sliding leg super straight. Just bending the standing leg to a 90-degree bend and then sliding back in until your feet come together in the middle. Do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that that sliding leg stays nice and straight with the toes pointed to the ceiling when you get to the bottom. When you slide to the top, emphasize that feeling of squeezing your legs together. A similar variation of that is to do a walking side lunge slide in. So just putting one foot on the slider, in this case the paper plate, you're going to do a walking side lunge, meaning you step out to the side, bend to a 90-degree angle, and then slide your straight leg all the way into the midline. Continue in one direction and then switch and go the other way. Next up, you're going to use a chair or a workout bench to do the inner thigh scissor lifts. So putting your top leg on top of the chair or bench and your bottom leg underneath it, get into a side plank, tap your bottom leg down to the floor, and then lift and squeeze your feet together, pushing down with your top leg at the same time as lifting up with your bottom leg. Another one you can do in that same position is the inner thigh hip dip. So just relaxing your bottom leg, focus on the top leg only. Lower your hips and then press down into that chair to lift back up to that straight plank position. Really emphasize feeling a little stretch in the inner thigh and then pressing down and flexing your inner thigh muscles against that chair. Next up, stand up tall and put one foot on the chair. Keep that leg perfectly straight while you bend the other leg down to a 90-degree bend in a squat, single leg squat, and then you're going to reach across with your opposite arm to opposite foot. This will help emphasize that stretch in your inner thigh, but you're really working both legs in this move, so make sure that that squat is good form on the other side, 90-degree bend with that standing leg and a nice good stretch with the top leg. Next up, no equipment needed. We're going to do extra wide sumo squats. This is awesome for inner thighs and it's very beginner friendly as well. Just open up your legs as wide as you can stand with your toes pointed out. You want your knees to follow your toes, so also knees are going out to the side. Try to get that 90-degree bend with both knees. I recommend holding your hands up above your head and trying to keep your torso as upright as possible. Just focus on hinging at the knees and the hips. Next is the Cossack squat. So in that same position with legs super wide and toes pointed out, you're going to squat down over to one side, going all the way down and pointing your toes up with your straight leg and stretching the inner thigh of that one side. Make sure your heels do not lift off the ground. That's how you're going to protect your knees in this advanced and challenging exercise. Heels must stay planted throughout the entire movement. And if you want some extra challenge here, try adding some weight. The weight of 2 little kids works just great. It makes it nice and challenging for you, but this exercise is hard enough as is, so use no weight if you're just starting out. Now grab a Swiss ball, because I have a couple of good inner thigh exercises you can do with a ball. The first one is the standing ball roll out. So you're going to stand up tall, put one foot on top of the ball, roll it out to the side until both legs are straight, and then roll it back towards your midline. Make sure that your top knee crosses over your midline and flex your inner thighs. If you're struggling to balance with this one, I recommend you hold onto a wall while you're doing it, but the balance is part of the exercise. So do your best to stay nice and stable with that standing leg while your top leg is moving. Now put the ball right in between your knees for the side step adduction. So you're gonna just step a little bit over to the side and then step together, squeezing your knees towards your midline. Alternate side to side. You can do something similar in a wall sit position with your back against a wall. Get into a 90-degree squat, put the ball in between your knees, and then press your knees in towards the midline, flexing your inner thighs. Make sure that you don't open your knees too wide or else the ball will drop out. Another alternative to that one, to make it more isolated inner thighs and not work the rest of your legs as well, is to do it by laying on your back with your knees bent at a 90-degree angle. Just squeeze that ball and put tension towards the midline. And lastly, I'll just show you two things you can do with a resistance band. First one is going to be side step. So I'm looping my resistance band to something stable and secure. Stick one foot through the other end of the resistance band, step away from it, and then pull it towards your midline. Continue alternating, stepping out together and then back together, and emphasize pressing your feet all the way towards each other at the peak of the contraction. Okay, the last one here, you can lie down on your back and do a similar move just by looping that stretch band around one ankle and pulling it towards your midline while keeping the other leg straight up in the air. As with all of these exercises, the goal is to contract your inner thighs, so make sure you're feeling it in the right place. These are not fat loss exercises, and spot reduction isn't a thing anyway, but you can spot tone and target certain muscles that you want to strengthen. If your goal is to lose fat in your inner thighs, I recommend you do these exercises alongside a fat loss program. And if you're looking for a fat loss program, check the link in the description box below to take our quiz, and we'll pair you with the right one for you. I hope you enjoyed watching these exercises, and if you learned anything new from this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone else who might like to see it. And leave us a comment in the section below which exercise was your favorite. The link is in the description box below to get yourself started on your first fat loss transformation program. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Keep living lean.